Hey guys, Rene Martin for Absolute Telemark, and today I want to present part 2 of the series on my gear for 2017-2018. Today we see the backpack, Avi stuff, and all the little accessories that I bring along. Let's get started. Okay guys, so I brought you all that I bring usually in the backcountry. This is not everything, but most everything, okay? So, this is a pain to bring, but never miss to bring it. This is a Bivy Sack that's actually like a snow sled to bring a injured person out. This is made by Stellar. It's a friend of mine, Lori, that makes it. I'll put a link below to her stuff. She sells it through Facebook. Nothing like really industrial, really handmade stuff. And in that little pouch you have like you can unroll it, and you got some ropes and some attachments, and the colors matches, so you can really easily wrap somebody up. Not very comfortable for the person. You really need to put a lot of clothing and other backpacks if you have mattresses and stuff like that to make it comfortable, but it's really worth it. So as I present to you the stuff, I'll put them in my pack so you can see how I do it, and at the end I'll present the backpack. All right, shovel, you need a 2-part shovel. So I got the Evac 7. It's not the biggest, but I really like it. D-shaped handle. I really like it better than the T-shaped handle. I think it's more powerful, and yeah, I just like it better. It's extendable, nothing fancy here. What's good is the blade, really good. You can see mine is really dented and beat up, but for the abuse I've been giving it, it's quite good. And on the other side you can flip it, so if you're on an incline, which usually we are skiing, you can shovel in front of you and bring the snow out really quickly in an avalanche situation. And it flips out on the other way to make your nice snow pits really square and nice. Okay, so that's that. Put it here. Something that I also really like, I think their accessories for Black Diamond, they've nailed it really good. This is a snow saw. It's very thin handle, so it's easier to cut through the backside of your block without destroying it. So that's what I like. You can have it in an angle also, and you have your markings for 30, 35, which is the norms for lots of the blocks that you have to do for avalanche tests. It's got this little orange piece here, and it's actually accommodate the snow poles, the extendable snow poles. You can release the bottom here, link it with this part here, and have a really long snow saw to make some bigger pits for your shear tests and stuff like that. Compression tests as well. Simple probe. So really like the fact that these ones are Black Diamonds. You throw it, you pull it, all right, and then once you pull it, it's locked. This one is pretty beat up. Lots of the markings are gone now in the areas I need them the most. So I bought a new one, same. This one I just not lost the cover yet. Bought it a bit shorter, and yeah, because out east now you don't get much snowpack anymore, but 240 is plenty. I sometimes get 3 meters of snowpack, but not very interested in digging that deep anyway. So all right, orientation. I have a compass. I've had this for 20 years now. This one's got an arrow, a black arrow that will indicate the inclination. You have to put, like, you know, like E here, and so you can try to evaluate the snow inclination. That's really good. This is not something I'll carry in the bag, but always on me. usually have it for all the wind direction, the little pockets in a bowl to really make sure that I know which way are wind loaded, and across time I can, across the day, throughout the day, I can evaluate better snow conditions. All right. I will also carry sometimes a little Garmin GPS. Most of the time I won't carry it. If it's work related for the parks, I'll carry it. And if it's a guided trips or a long trip in the mountains, I'll carry it. But if it's just a day trip for myself, I'll save the weight. All right. Water, not something to overlook. So a 1 liter Nalgene with some duct tape. And so that's all I will usually carry. I like the insulation. It's really good to save some weight. If it's a long day, I'll carry a second one. I'll put some warm water, not hot, but just to say that it starts with a little bit of temperature so it doesn't freeze throughout the day, and some more duct tape. Usually just one is enough though. To go with the safety kit, so this is my emergency first aid kit. Quite small, you know, and I'll carry it this most of the time, except when I'm guiding, it'll be bigger. The only thing big I carry is a big pair of scissors. If ever you have to get through the skin really fast, you're not going to be happy with your little knife scissors. This is a must. It goes through everything, and I really recommend it because I've been there before and it's not fun. So triangulars, gloves, nitrile gloves, everything's normal. I'll have some moleskin for blisters, some regular big patch band-aids, and that's about it. All right, something I'll carry on me is my little Avalanche notebook or Backcountry Notebook. So the grid goes like this, and then you can take your notes. This one is new because it's a new season, but yeah, so you have the grid here. You got a little thermometer inside here, and I like the alcohol one. That's really simple, never fails. It's not the quickest though. If I was doing snow tests all day long, I'd take the electronic ones. This one's just cheaper and it suits my needs perfectly. I do have pen and pencil. I know that everybody says don't get any pencils, I guess, because it can freeze. It's never been a problem. You know, you work like this and it just keeps it warm. I also have like a felt like this, so yeah, I have all sorts. So you're never out. All right. So this I'll carry on me with the plate and a little magnifier. You can see it here. So this is to identify your snowflakes better, size of the snowflakes, and so on. And this I'll put in my pants, ski pants pocket here. With this also, it's a ruler, and this is just basic stuff for Avalanche. If you're not into this, you don't need it. If you are though, I would recommend this over like just the probe. So I'll carry this on me all the time. Something I also carry on me is my Avalanche Transceiver. This one is the Peeps DSP Pro, and it's just yeah, it's just a great simple beacon. It's got a long reach. It's very efficient and steady to find a signal and keep the signal locked, so you don't walk on the snowfield and lose the signal to find another one, and suddenly you're on a different path looking for somebody else. It's got a marker bearing, so once you found somebody, you can mark it down. These are all basic functions nowadays, but I find that this one is particularly, you know, it's reliable. That's the word. Another great thing is that you can have also your inclination of the slope on this device to the degree, so it's kind of more precise than my my compass. All right, so that's going there. I'll carry a light isolation jacket. If I'm guiding, I'll have like the bigger one, or if it's really cold. But usually the light one is good enough. I'm active all day, so it's just at lunch or at the top. If it's really windy and cold, I'll use that one. I'll save this for last. All right, so I got lots of little pockets. This is like a really thick pocket, plasticky one, because I'll carry all the greasy stuff in it. This is some sunscreen in the mountains. You can't go without. Lipstick, Vaseline. This I'll put on like a hot spot. If you got close to a blister before it turns into a blister, you can try that. Also between the legs, walking a lot, sometimes big legs, yeah, it happens. So this is a cream that protects for cold. It works really good. The wind is really brutal sometimes, so it's a lot better this than just a regular like a lip balm. I don't know why, it just works better. I'll have two kinds of wax for my skis. This is a kick wax. I'm not going to use it that really often, but this is really good if you have a long flat and you don't want to put the skins on because it's too slow. You can just kick your way in or out the backcountry. And some gliding wax. This is going to apply to my skins or my skis, and just cold like that. And this is general wax, and it will make a huge difference. Okay, it's not for performance, it's just if sometimes the snow is really sticky and stuff like that, I'll use that. So that's that. This I'll put here. All right. So I got a little repair kit. It's very simple actually. With time I've shrunk it down. So a little seam grip and patches. I don't have a thermarest or anything like that. This is really for anything. It's really strong. Obviously it doesn't dry really fast, but makes really good repairs for your clothing or a piece of equipment, backpacks and stuff like that. Extra little ropes, you never know what's it's going to be good for. Fast clip, if you have one thing to carry, I recommend this. So it's just a buckle for your waist belt for your pack sack. So if you or a friend break one, you're going to be pissed. So this can save your life, your back, your ski day, because skiing with all the weight on your shoulders only is really hard. So I'd recommend this for sure. Little piece of replacement for your binding. I really recommend Telemark bindings, and even alpine binding nowadays. They're flimsy, I guess. They don't break that often, but if they're broken, I like this from the Mejo because it's really easy. You can just unscrew the springs and change the whole part at once. I've never had to change this whole part actually. I've changed this in the earlier models. Version 1.1 and 1.2 would break, but now I've not had any problem. Still carry it in case. So I'll put this in the good backpack. A little extra batteries for my headlamp. So in another little pouch, I'll have 3 items. A little multi-tool. This one's from Black Diamond. I really like it. It's got a locking mechanism so you don't lose the bite, and that's really helpful. You got a little storage for other ones. You can buy any one from any hardware store. It works great, but you have to have a tool to repair your binding, your boots. Yeah. Letterman Wave, like it, love it, been there, done that. It's the lightest of the big ones, and it's big enough for all that I need anyway, and it's strong enough, and I really like it. And see why I was talking about having a big pair of scissors in your first aid kit, because you don't want to go through the clothing of somebody with this. All right. So this goes into this one. And last but not least, the days are really short in the winter, so I'll have obviously a headlamp. So this goes here, this goes here. All right, so this is not part of my backpack. This is what I'll wear most of the days. This is the dirt bag gloves. Small glove, cheap glove, but I used to ski a lot with construction gloves, but the opening here was not great. The leather was not as well fitted, and these are actually surprisingly really warm. I used to have working gloves, as I said, or I used to ski with, this is not gonna, yeah, with guide gloves like this. These are brand new guide gloves I got this season. Usually they last me for 4 seasons, I would say, before replacing. So I would ski a lot with this, working with this, but now with this awesome dirt bag glove, I would recommend saving like 3/4 of the price. Only getting the guide glove is you can't get just one glove. These guys are unbeatable for price, durability. They last about 2 years. They cost about, you know, like 1/4 of this, a bit more, a bit less than that. But obviously, I will carry this in the backpack. I like it better than mittens as a safety if I get cold. So this is my way to go. If you're on a budget, go for mittens. All right. So this not in the backpack, but I wanted to present it to you. Okay. So goggles, I will put at the top when I'm not using them skiing. This also at the top with the goggles, so everything that's optic is there. So the backpack that I use is the Black Diamond Saga 40, Jet Force 40. I love the backpack. It's a airbag backpack, meaning that at a pull of a trigger, the air will inflate a big airbag, and it creates a big volume in the avalanche, and then you're having more chance of staying at the top of the avalanche. And this can make a really big difference in your chance of survival because you have a lot less chance of being buried. This is the price of a pair of skis, but for me it's worth every penny because it's better to have an old pair of skis and to come back alive and then not come back. Two main disadvantage of this backpack is the weight. It's got maybe like a pound more than a regular backpack just because of all the mechanism to make the air inflate. This one is a air blower, actionate with a battery, so it's kind of heavy compared to a normal backpack. So it's got this hood for your helmet. It actually sucks. This is the other problem. The helmet will stay in place, no problem. It's just that they put it too low on the backpack, and as soon as you put your pack on the ground, it will sink in the snow and your helmet is full of snow. And you need to put it this way to have the top or your back at the top, because the back is actually in your main pocket to access all your goodies. So yeah, really hate the placement of the helmet. I guess the designers at Black Diamond don't wear helmets a lot because obviously I've still been using it this way. I'm just careful when I put it on the snow. If it's really deep, usually I'll tap around with my skis and make a little hole. But before I used to have like a helmet hoodie here, and it was at the top, and then I didn't have that problem. So once you're going down, this folds here. There's a main pocket here at the front for all your safety equipment. Because the blade on this is really sharp, I'm always really careful when I'm putting it in. I don't think it's gonna work. Just kidding. All right, so now everything is in. You see here a little gap, so you kind of have a bevel here, and this is actually working great. All right, so yeah, backpack's heavy, but all in all, not so bad. It's very comfortable. The pack moves along with you skiing like no other bag. The shoulders are articulated, not articulated, but they're linked with a wire. So the pack doesn't move, but my shoulders are moving. So this is incredible. The same thing for the belt. It really follows your movement. So when you're skiing, you need your hips to go, and then the pack will follow. All right, guys, so AbsoluteTelemark.com is dedicated in producing telemark tutorials, how to ski for beginners, intermediate, advanced. I got a series on how to ski in moguls that I'll present to you shortly. Actually, you can check that already on AbsoluteTelemark.com for more on that. So in the third part on my gear, I'm gonna do the clothing, what to wear, when to wear it. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, cheers.
Take this to the next level, sure we can. Sure we can. 'Cause I'm easy, and I'm easy today, and I think I've got it in me to make it through the day. 'Cause I'm easy, and I'm easy today, and I think I've got it in me to make it through the day. 'Cause I'm easy, and I'm easy today, and I think I've got it in me to make it through the day. 'Cause I'm easy, and I'm easy today, and I think I've got it in me to make it through the day. Can I buy you a new round? Well, I'm sure you can. Should we make this a double? Well, I'm sure we can. Can we bum and not the lift up? I'm sure we can. Can we take this to the next level? Sure we can.